shocking moment once again captured public attention. The closeness of Jikook, a popular term for the interaction between Jimin and Jungkook of BTS, became the subject of heated discussion, not only among fans, but also in international media discourse. Yet what makes this situation even more intriguing is the fact that just one simple sentence from Jungkook was able to shift the center of attention and spark commotion across various online platforms. The question is, what exactly happened, and why did that single sentence shake the public so strongly? The swift reaction that emerged after the moment circulated shows how the K-pop fandom, especially ARMY, has a high sensitivity toward every interaction of their idols. The closeness of Jimin and Jungkook is not something new, but this time the atmosphere felt different. Many fans described the interaction as more intense, more genuine, and more emotional compared to before. The statement that slipped from Jungkook only added weight to that perception, as if it became verbal evidence, confirming what had previously only been speculation. This event triggered a wave of extended discussion, from interpretations of facial expressions, body language, to tone of voice. Jungkook's sentence, which sounded simple, even though the full context cannot yet be confirmed, was considered laden with symbolic meaning. Many pop culture analysts argue that the publication of fan reactions illustrates how social media has changed the way information develops. Just one sentence is capable of producing thousands of comments, analyses, and even opinion articles. The Jikook phenomenon has always existed between the realm of fandom and academic discourse. For some fans, this closeness is a form of sincere friendship between members who support each other. But for others, the interaction opens up deeper interpretive space that often goes beyond what is actually shown. Jungkook, with the one sentence he uttered, further emphasizes how blurred the line is between stage reality, personal expression, and public expectation that it cannot be denied. The appeal of this phenomenon lies in its paradox. On one hand, Jungkook's statement looks simple, perhaps even unintentional. On the other hand, that sentence immediately ignited a global conversation that proved just how great the influence of an idol's personality can be. This underlines BTS's position not only as a music group, but also as a cultural phenomenon that transcends the boundaries of entertainment. The extraordinary reaction of fans also affirms how interactions between BTS members are not merely entertainment, but also material for social research. From Twitter to online forums, from fan articles to media coverage, one sentence from Jungkook now stands as a symbol. How even the smallest detail in an idol's interaction can move thousands of narratives and shape a wave of public opinion. Interestingly, this incident also raises a larger question. To what extent are an idol's words considered representative of their true feelings? Can a single sentence be interpreted as an explicit statement, or merely spontaneity exaggerated by mass interpretation? This polemic highlights the tension between fact, perception, and fan expectation. Here lies the dramatization that makes this news even harder to ignore. Another fact that strengthened the commotion is the way the media packaged the moment. Video clips, screenshots, even conversation transcripts spread widely within minutes. A collective narrative was formed, as if the public was racing to uncover hidden meanings behind Jungkook's sentence. This phenomenon shows just how quickly the digital media ecosystem produces and reproduces surprise in the world of Korean entertainment. Digital communication experts argue that this situation is a clear example of how the K-pop fandom works as an interpretive community. Not only enjoying the music, they actively dissect signs, build hypotheses, and construct theories around their idols' interactions. In this context, Jungkook's one sentence is not merely a personal expression, but an object of study that stimulates cross-cultural discussion. The closeness of Jikook and Jungkook's sentence that became the spotlight ultimately not only triggered curiosity, but also demonstrated the vitality of the global fandom. It emphasizes that in the digital era, the line between news, opinion, and interpretation can be very thin. With all the dramatization that accompanies it, this moment once again shows that BTS's presence is not only about music, but also about how they shape a grand narrative in the landscape of global culture. One sentence, one interaction, and one phenomenon of closeness. From that alone emerged thousands of conversations that shook the public. This surprise serves as a reminder, in the world of K-pop, even the smallest detail can become an extraordinary spotlight, and Jungkook has just proven that once again. Not stopping there, the impact of this uproar was also felt in fandom activity across various countries. Hashtags related to Jikook and Jungkook's sentence dominated global trending topics, signaling that a fleeting interaction at an event could rival major news coverage in international media. This phenomenon once again reminds us that BTS is not only a musical phenomenon, but also a symbol of cross-cultural communication capable of transcending barriers of language and geography. Several Korean pop culture observers argue that this Jikook moment reflects the dynamics of interpersonal relationship branding built by K-pop idols. Interactions between members are not just personal matters, but also part of a grand narrative consumed by the public. One sentence from Jungkook, which may have been born spontaneously, turned into a collective narrative constructed by millions of fan interpretations. This is the unique power of the Korean entertainment world, creating experiences that are simultaneous, personal, yet global. Fan responses were divided into several layers. Some saw Jungkook's sentence as a form of natural emotional closeness, others interpreted it as a deeper signal, and still others considered it merely a lighthearted joke. Yet above all these differences, one thing is certain: public attention has been completely seized. The fact that a single sentence could split opinion and simultaneously spark uproar is proof of Jungkook's magnetic power. Social media reinforced this dramatization. Thousands of video clips were analyzed in detail, from hand gestures, eye contact, to the brief smile that accompanied Jungkook's sentence. Such analyses show how the K-pop fandom is no longer merely consumers of entertainment, but an active community that also produces meaning. The uproar continued, as if not a single detail could be left unnoticed. This phenomenon also provides an important note for the entertainment industry. Personal interactions between members now have news value equal to song releases or grand concerts. In fact, in this case of Jikook, public attention was more intensely focused on the moment of interaction than on BTS's official agenda itself. This shows a shift in interest, where the public is increasingly thirsty for the idol's personality aspects that are considered more authentic and realistic. However, critical voices also emerged from academic circles. They warn that excessive interpretation of a single sentence can blur the line between reality and fantasy. Meanwhile, for fans, that is precisely where the excitement lies, turning small things into major discussions without always needing to prove the truth.